I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. Pops, what time is it?
It's chomp time!
It is Chomp Time indeed. I am Mike. That is Pops. This is the Chomp Time podcast. This is episode 13, which I have dubbed Billy Vanilli.
Ooh, is he a singer?
Billy Vanilli is the title. Yes, it is. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. Let's leave that in the lurch for right now.
All right.
We are going to be going over the Gators' victory against UCF this past Saturday night in a packed swamp against an in-state, which apparently is a rival now. And
Yeah,
we're going to tell you all about what we saw, what we think, what the future holds, all that good stuff. One quick note, Pops, when I go over these recordings and I do a little editing here or there,
Yeah.
we use Riverside, so you could be in Florida, I could be in Indiana. One of the parts of Riverside that I see when I'm editing is two different colors of the audio line. Like, for instance, I'm purple and then you're yellow. So whenever you talk, it comes up yellow. The vast majority of the last 3 or 4 episodes are all purple. I, believe it or not, with the exception of this minute 30 already in, I promise I'm going to let you speak more than half the time today.
You're doing fine. You're doing
Starting
fine.
right now, Pops, give us your breakdown of the game against UCF. I will sit back and relax.
I'm very, very happy. We played a phenomenal first half. We couldn't have asked anything better in the first half. The guns were rolling out there. They were passing the ball, running the ball. Our defense actually held them. I got some comments. I took some notes during the game, but I was just so happy about the first half. Now, we're playing, a Big 12 team. Second, we found out it's their second year in the Big 12. They played last year.
Correct.
But they're not playing, the top tier teams that we're going to have to play. And it was a crazy, crazy weekend with Alabama, Tennessee. It just craziness how Miami pulled that game out of a hat. This is what I love about college football. I love college football with all the things we talk about and all the complaints we make about the NIL, about the portal, and all that. Games like this were phenomenal. I was like, come on, let's go. Another game just like this. It was great. Okay, first half. Special teams. We still have problems on special teams. we're fair catching the ball, right? Before, I was always told, put your foot in the 10-yard line and don't touch the ball since then. But we did have a good a special team where we had the punt down to the 2-yard line. Yeah. Phenomenal. Great
Yes.
job. Then we had a terrible one where we roughed the kicker. Now, I wouldn't really call that roughing, but in the letter of the law, it is what it is, so we have to deal with it. Here's the tidbit I don't understand. See, UCF, who we both were very wrong, saying how many yards they were going to gain on the ground, they take the ball. First of all, I don't understand why he didn't take the ball at the first part of the game. At the first start of the game, he usually does. For whatever reason, he wanted the ball in the second half. Whatever. So they get the ball. We go down and we score. Phenomenal. He gets the ball and he runs all the way down the field. I mean, run. 7, 8, 6, 5, whatever it is they're running down the field. He gets down there, and then on second down, he figures, let's throw a pass. Well, that didn't work. Third down, let's throw another pass. No, that didn't work. Okay, so now he's kicking a field goal. I don't understand these coaches. I was always under the impression, keep on doing what you're doing until somebody stops you. We weren't stopping them. That's kind of crazy. I don't understand that. We did get screwed in the first half on the refs on an offside, which would have given us a first down. Okay, and as it turned out, we had to kick the ball, but that was not good. I still don't like, as much as I appreciate the victory, we're 3rd and 2. I think we're at the 40. We're 5 out of 7 on third downs. Tremendous for us. Okay, really good. he throws the flanker screen. I thought, Mom, she got up and left the room. Goes, a flanker screen? What?
As promised.
Second half. I don't know what happened to us. We didn't have come out easily with the same energy. He made Gus made some good adjustments for them. Couple of things I noticed. Mertz, I love the kid, okay? But if you're going to run and you know you're going to make the first down, don't slide short. You know what the first down marker is. But he made up for it the next play, and he, on a 4th and 2, and he faked him out and ran and got the first down. I think in the fourth quarter, my only complaint was it's 3rd down, 4 to go. We throw a pass, incomplete. We're trying to run the clock. Run a running play and because the clock stops then. All right? Stop it. But I have to tell you, I was very happy with overall the defense came to play. The numbers show that they really held them in track with the running yards. The quarterback, you made a comment on Facebook that the quarterback reminded you of
Jared Lorenzen.
He's got the same kind of body style, I thought.
From Kentucky, but I will change that. Let me jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
I started the episode with I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong that I thought they would run for 300 yards against us. They only ran for 108.
Yeah, me too.
I was wrong that Aiden Mizell would have 2 touchdowns from Mertz. Mizell didn't even play. I think he's hurt. I was wrong about the score. I was wrong about special teams being important. They weren't a factor in the game. Oh, he's actually got scotch today. Holy cow. It's usually antifreeze or coffee. Oh my God! What is that? Is that Glenn Levitt?
Yes, sir.
Glenn Levitt 12.
I've been told every time I watch this, you're drinking during the game. What? Every episode, Mike says I'm drinking scotch. Well, I am today.
Okay, so today it's factual. That's only 12 years.
Yes, this one's 12 years.
All right, I need you to step that up to 15 or whatever.
There's an 18 I've had.
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was wrong about. So apparently I was wrong about what you were drinking in previous episodes, but not today. I was wrong about turnovers being a big deal. We had that interception, which kind of sealed the game, I guess.
Yeah.
But let me say a couple things. If and when Billy is no longer our coach, there's one guy that I want crossed off the list as to who we should be looking at. Is Gus Malzahn.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what this guy was doing.
Yeah.
If there's ever a time where you're going to take your game plan and try and stuff it down a team's throat, it's ours. They only ran the ball. Now, they ran the ball 40 times for 108 yards.
Yeah.
So 40 times in a college game is roughly half. It was probably a little bit more than half, but their main running backs.
That's 2.5 yards to carry.
RJ Harvey had 16 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. That was 4.7 yards per carry. Their other running back, Boone, had 8 carries for 42 yards, which was 5.3 yards per carry. So it's not like we did well defensively. When they went back to pass, we had 5 sacks, 2 additional tackles for loss. We ran the ball decent. We had 32 rushes for 130 yards. And then once again, Mertz and DJ were very efficient. 19 of 23 for 179 for Mertz, 4 of 4 for 50 yards, and a dime from DJ to DK.
Outstanding.
But Malzahn, I just didn't understand. Like you said on the first drive, run, like we're going to be in trouble all game. And they just decided to throw. He didn't stick to the run, especially after halftime. It was 24-3 at half. We end up winning 24-13, right? So we scored 0 points in the second half, but he kept, KJ Jefferson, I was very unimpressed with him. I don't remember him from the Arkansas game last year. Apparently he had big-time stats against us. They beat us in overtime when he was the quarterback of Arkansas last year in the Swamp. And that was way more of a shootout. And Vegas thought this was going to be a shootout. I said that they were thinking the game was going to be 32-30.
Yeah.
And it was 24-13. So Malzahn, I was very surprised. at his game plan, especially in the second half and parts of the first half. I just thought he would run 75% of the time. His running backs got 5 yards a carry. When you're getting 5 yards a carry, you just keep running the ball. So I don't know what and thank you, Gus. I'm happy for the win because I do not want to lose to UCF. I don't care what the division they're in. I see them as a lower tier program than the mighty University of Florida. What else? Second half, I call this episode Billy Vanilli because I still think, even after 2 wins, and prove me wrong, please prove me wrong this coming week, which we'll talk about. But I still think he's somewhat of a fraud. And that's what Millie Vanilli was, but also Vanilla is in that. He's vanilla. I cannot watch his press conferences. All he does is do this with his hands. That's all he does all day long. This is all. It doesn't matter what he's talking about. This is his hand motions.
But here's the great thing that I finally saw. I saw emotion on the sidelines. I thought he was going to get a 15-yard, and I would have said, go ahead and get it, because it's the first time I've seen you actually go after someone, and it was right about the call. I mean, it was horrible. But I mean,
And
it's
that's
like,
fine. Yeah, and that's good. I don't want a Muschamp crazy person on the sidelines or Dabo like we talked about in the last time. I don't want that. But I want more of what I saw from Bill. It's an emotional game. I've seen a couple clips here or there on social media where he's talking to the team in the locker room and he raises his voice. His press conferences, but and then also part of Vanilla was the entire second half and the entire year with play calling. We're calling plays from 1977 with no imagination, no creativity. We're begging for it. We're up 24-3. He basically took his foot off the gas, a la Spurrier, when we were up 35-0 against Tennessee that one year, ended up winning 35-29. I get it. If you have the game in hand, take it.
when we stopped them, and it was DJ's turn to come out, I said, oh, this is a huge play right now. You know what Spurrier would do? He'd go long. He would just throw the rock to the end zone and see what happens. So they ran the first time, but the second time, he put that dime, and it was unbelievable pass. That pass was perfect. And with 1 or 2 yard line, whatever it was. It was
to DK, it was a incredible pass. I will continue to say, the announcers seem to think that it's working for us. We've won the last 2 games, and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, please. But maybe it is working. I don't like the 2 quarterback system. I didn't like it. So in the fourth quarter, in the second half, we only had 3 possessions, maybe 4. And so DJ hadn't played in real time in over an hour.
Right.
And he comes into a kind of a crucial series and possession, and he hadn't played in an hour. I just don't know how we won. Maybe UCF is good and we're better than we think, but I still say he's somewhat of a fraud.
Do you know what's great in this game? It was a packed house. I think I got the attendance right.
Yeah.
Standing room only. UCF had a huge contingent. They had their entire band there. Usually when they bring a band, they had everybody there. It was a great atmosphere, and our fans were crazy in the first half. Just crazy. And that's what we need. It's what a college football game is supposed to be.
I agree. I had the whole night off, so I got to sit down on my couch and have a cold beverage and some snacks and text you every couple minutes. And it was a great atmosphere. I will continue to salute Gator Nation for getting out there.
Yeah.
I don't care how many of those fans were UCF fans. We're in a weird spot in our program. We're teetering. But I hate to look ahead because we have an episode coming on it, but a win against Tennessee, even a competitive game, against Tennessee.
That changes a lot. If we can be with them the whole game, and at the very end, even if we don't win the game, it will tell me that we've made a turn. Because Tennessee, even though they lost, they're a hell of a football team. They're in the upper echelon of the SEC. They're right there. Okay. in my opinion. So this next week, we kind of say it every week, it's make it or break it or whatever you want to say. This is a tipping point for me to see where the program really is. We're rested. We've got a couple victories in a row. We have a winning record. We're going to have, looks like Wilson will be back for sure. They said they want to hold him out one more game. We don't know about Mizell. A couple of the freshmen came through in Saturday's game, receivers, so that's good. I think that you're right. Tennessee is the game that it's gonna put us either on the map that we're heading in the right direction, or
Absolutely. I've been extremely tough on Billy Napier, and you've been kind of coming around. The first through the first 3 weeks, we both wanted him gone.
right.
After our performances against Miami, were performance against Miami, we were just rusty. It looked like we were unprepared. And then A&M, our game plan, especially in the first half, was embarrassing.
The game was over in the first half.
We do have a slight bit of momentum on our side. I still think we have a pretty good roster. I said at the beginning of the year, we have a lot of 4-star guys and guys on our roster that other big name schools wanted. We just haven't been coaching them up. We have 2 wins in a row. I've been awfully hard on him. And this game coming up, we're underdogs by 15 points. Now, I put that on social media, and of course, a bunch of people are, yeah, well, they were 13 and a half points underdog against Arkansas. Yeah, they lost to Arkansas, and they're still favored by 15 over us. Most people think they're going to blow us out. Unfortunately, I believe that there's a definite possibility of that happening, but what a huge game. I don't like Billy Napier. Listen,
Yeah.
he's vanilla to me. I do not want a vanilla coach. Bill Belichick was as vanilla as you could get in press conferences, but he won and won and won. And if you saw any clips of him in the locker room or on the sideline, completely different guy. I do not want to compare Billy Napier.
When you put this podcast together, you said one thing before we even started. Say, listen, we're just going to be honest. We're gonna say it the way it is, and if we offend people, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. We're gonna make predictions based on facts, not by love of the Gators.
Yeah.
We both love the Gators, but we have to be realistic here. This 15-point underdog thing is reality because they have better athletes than we have better athletes. Okay,
They have recruited.
They've performed better this year than we have. All right, so listen, here's an opportunity for the Gators to get together and put something together, and let's go play.
Yeah, they've recruited. Heupel has recruited at a very high level the last few years, and it shows. Now, aside from the Arkansas game, and any road game in the SEC is not a given. Ask Alabama, like you said earlier. Vanderbilt's got some athletes too, nowhere near the athletes that Alabama has.
Who's been saying all year long to you, Vanderbilt's good. They got a good football team. I've been telling you that every week.
You have, but once again, it goes to, so if it is so tough to play on the road, why did we throw up such clunkers against Miami and A&M with such enormous games? Like, so again, I've been very tough on him. Show me, Billy, show me in this upcoming game that we are turning the corner. Because I think we might have in those last 2 games. The negative amount of press nationally on social media from me, you, everyone in Gator Nation has been through the roof after the Miami game, even after the Samford game, because they're begging for DJ, then especially after the A&M game, and then we gave him no credit for the Mississippi State game.
Let's put it this way. At the first 5 games of the season, okay, we're 3-2. I don't think there's anybody out there that didn't think we would beat, okay, Samford, Mississippi State, and Central Florida. If you're honest and you looked at our schedule before the start of the season, okay, nobody would have had us losing to those three teams.
After the A&M game, I was absolutely not sure. I picked Mississippi State to beat us. I was wrong. Then
Yeah.
I picked UCF to beat us. I was wrong.
You just
Hey,
keep on
continue.
you just keep on predicting that. That's good for us. We like it.
Well, yeah, my credibility is shot. I have no idea what's going on with my Gators. I usually know what's going to happen. But yeah, the
Good victory.
atmosphere, the
Good.
atmosphere at the Swamp is good. Great, you could say. Selling that place out. We are showing out on national television. You know, last night, whenever they show clips on any platform about the don't back down with all the cell phones, especially at night,
Yeah.
that's really, and almost every announcer says this is something you have to experience.
Yeah.
So it's a great tradition. It's only been around for 10 years or so.
There's something else I'd like the Gator Nation. They're not going to like this. The university's not going to like this. But man, was it phenomenal watching Vanderbilt kids coming out of the stands and filling that stadium? Same thing with Arkansas. I mean, you know what? I know there's this rule in the SEC that you're going to get fined a couple $100,000, whatever the damn number is. That's exciting. I mean, that was really exciting to see these kids coming out of the stands and cheering on your team that you didn't think you had a chance winning this team. I like that in college football. I know that we won't do it because we have armed guards all the way around the stadium. But I
Well,
enjoyed it.
it's, yeah, I like it to a point. Now, the Vanderbilt storming of the field was absolutely almost necessary because when was the last time Vanderbilt beat Alabama, number one? And
Yeah.
number two, Alabama was the number one undefeated team in the country. That's when storming the court, to me, made
Feel.
sense. And it's storming the field or the court. So I remember it being in basketball first, but
Yeah.
you beat the number one ranked team
Yeah.
in the country, basketball or football, you storm the court. That's what you do. Other than that, you don't. I get why it's against the rules in the SEC for safety
Safety. Yeah, yeah.
and all this good stuff, but yeah, I agree with certain
Did,
times.
did you did
I
you
don't
did you also
go.
notice that during the Vanderbilt, when they were storming the field, up on their scoreboard, okay, their
Yes,
video was Saban saying, "What's the easiest place to play in the SEC?" They kept on repeating it.
yes, that was very big time work by
Yes,
the big
yes,
screen operator. They also tore down the goalposts
yeah,
and went through Nashville Broadway
yeah.
Street with the goalposts on a Saturday night in Nashville at the end of the summer. So that must have been crazy. I also heard, Pops, surprisingly, that they are now auctioning off things from the stadium to pay for all the damage that was done by the storming of the field and the ripping. I'm like, Vanderbilt's in the SEC. Doesn't every SEC team get like a $50 million check at least at the end
Yeah.
of every year just for
Some
being in the SEC?
and trust me, they have many benefactors that would take care of that without a problem.
Yeah. So that was weird. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah,
might have been misinformation that they were just auctioning it off because it was such a big win
yeah.
and they're just profiting off of Vanderbilt fans wanting a piece of history because it may never happen again. Who knows?
What did you think? What did you think about the Miami comeback?
I was sleeping. I didn't even, Pops, I did not even know until yesterday that when I was just looking at things from scores and doing a
Yeah,
little research for this
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
that Miami had won, first off, and secondly, had been given a couple of phantom
Yes,
calls
yes.
to win the game on the road. So it's quite obvious
And
that the
how's
N.
our brothers up north? How they doing? Okay, are they all
Oh
right?
my goodness, are they 1-4 now?
Five.
1-5?
I believe it's 1-5.
Yeah, because they had the opening game, so we're
Yeah,
3-2. So we've only
yeah,
played five. They played 6 games. They're 1-5.
yeah.
Never did I ever think that Florida State in my lifetime would be 1-5.
Do you know they've
You
had
talk about a guy that's not.
three consecutive games now with less than 300 yards total offense? They started a freshman quarterback.
Yeah. Wow. That
Yeah.
is, I mean, we have 2 wins in a row,
Yeah.
and we were, yeah. So I think we turned the corner. Continue to show me that, Billy, because I still say he's Billy Vanilli.
All
Sorry.
right.
I hope I'm wrong. I've said a few times today that I'm wrong quite a bit. But we will jump into that game on Friday. That episode will be out. We'll go into the Tennessee game, which once again is huge, huge for everybody. I don't want to start over. I don't want to do a whole new coach and then give him another 2 years to
Yeah.
get his culture in there.
Yeah.
So I want us to be successful, and I will root with all my heart for us to upset them.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, what else you got? Anything? It's kind of a
Well,
quick episode today.
the thing is, I just want to relay. We're down here in Florida, and we got another big one coming right at us.
Yes.
I want everybody to stay safe. Make sure that you have what you need. If you don't, get the hell out. Get to the
Yes.
middle. Get to the middle of the state. Anybody that's on the coast, please, the coastlines. You have to really, because this thing is a monster coming. And I put my shutters up, and I have all my stuff taken care of. We went to the store. We got everything we need. We're gonna hunker down. This is our second storm in the last 3 years. But everybody stay safe out there.
So are they projecting this to be Ian was the first one that you went through, right? A
Yeah,
couple of years ago.
yeah.
And are they projecting what is this
Milton,
one called?
Milton,
Milton. Is Milton going to be as bad or worse
bigger,
than Ian?
bigger.
Bigger than Ian? Didn't you guys say you were not going to do that again? You were going to leave?
No, when we went through it, we felt very, very safe because there were 110-mile-an-hour winds clocked in where we live. We never heard, the house never moved. I mean, we have cinder block. This is a 5-year-old house. It's got all the right stuff. The shutters take care of the windows. The windows are, storm proof. The roof is, you're safe as far as where you're at. If you live on the coast, is storm surge. That's what kills more people than anything else is storm surge.
Well, I'm
So
praying for you, and I'm
we're
praying for
we're
everybody
we're,
else
we're
out
10 we're
there.
10 we're 10 miles from the coast, so we're in good shape.
Well, I hope so. I distinctly remember you guys saying, I don't think we're going to do this
Well,
again.
the only thing I want to say is maybe on Friday when we do the podcast, you might be doing a solo. It depends on if we have power.
I hope not. I hope that you are.
I have a generator.
All right.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, be safe, Pops, and take care of Mom like you always have. And everyone out there, anywhere in the path, be careful.
Yep.
It's just it's an average hurricane season in Florida. I don't know how you all do it, but
Yeah.
at some point, I think I want to move down there and bear that kind of danger with you. So anyway, I am Mike. That is Pops. This was the Chomp Time Podcast. This was episode 13, which I called Billy Vanilli. I still think you're a fraud. Prove me wrong, Billy. Please, I'm begging you, prove me wrong. And for the love of God, come on, Gators.
Get up and go.
Be careful. Take care, everybody.